Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll analyze the common mistakes that you commonly make in English General Paper 2, and that is comprehension. First, we recognize because at times you don't really know what mistakes you are actually making. So once you know them, I believe you try to avoid them. This is how you can achieve a high score in English General Paper 2. Mistake number one, the undeveloped points. You know when you're making this mistake? In level based questions that ask you to identify points along with development. You might identify the correct idea, but you fail to expand on it. You talk about what, but you fail to explain how. This is your mistake. How can you fix this now? Always remember, always develop your points. Don't just state an idea, elaborate on it. Let me give you an example here. This time, that was a level based question. Let me read the question for you. Apart from impressing Linus or Linus Fridgman, explain why Georgina would most likely prefer to review Sortex Marino. You see, there are two things important here. One is the character, that is Georgina, and other one is Sortex Marina, that is the place. So why does Georgina prefer to review Sortex Marina? So when you find the point, you have to develop that point further. You already know that you are given different sources in the comprehension paper to sort out first the points and then the development. Here we have additional information. Let me read all the points of the additional information so you can identify the relevant points first. Let me remind you what we're looking for here. All the points that related to Georgian and Sotex Marina. So AI1 says the cost of 1 week's accommodation at Anaka Yorton. It has nothing to do with Sotex Marina as well as Georgina. AI2 says Georgiana is currently unemployed, has nothing to do with Sortex Marina then. And AI3 says Serge is so fascinated, it has nothing to do with Georgina as well as Sortex Marina. AI4 says Georgina once tried out a climbing wall at a local sports center. It has nothing to do with Sortex Marina. So AI5 says at Sortex Marina, there will be the opportunity for the guests to sign up for group classes or individual tuition at all levels of ability in wide variety of sports, water sports. So this is something that can appeal Georgina, right? So AI5 is your relevant point here. AI6 says Surge is paying Georgina's rent. It has nothing to do with Sortex Marina. AI7 says the cost of transportation to Anarchy Old Town. It has nothing to do with Sortex Marina. AI8 says Georgina shares a passion for scuba diving with Emily, her best friend in Chime City. Yes, it has some. It is a point that can be related to Sortex Marina water sports activities. So point 8 is the relevant point here. AI9 says Serge is a good friend. It has nothing to do with Georgina. AI10 says Georgina becomes a vegetarian 3 years ago, so it has something to do with Sortex Marina. So point 10 is your relevant point here. So we have more additional information points. AI11 says, as an experienced man, this is not relevant point. AI12 says Serge has been promoted. It has nothing to do with Georgina. And AI13 says Georgina received Linus Fridgman email. It has nothing to do with Sortex Marina. Then AI14 says, as a student, Emily worked for Drake's property development. It has nothing to do with Georgina. And AI15 says Georgina has never traveled further south in India than Chime City. It can be a relevant point. So AI16 says some online reviews posted by visitors of Anaka Old Town. It has nothing to do with Sortex Marina. AI17 says Emily is careful with money. It has nothing to do with Georgina. AI18 says the opening date for guests to stay at Sortex Marina is Friday 17th. It has nothing to do with Georgina here. So AI19 says Georgina has become interested in environmental issues, changing her habits to reflect these new concerns. So this also could be your relevant point. AI20 says Ivor Drix closed down his previous construction company, leaving behind. It has nothing to do with Sortex Marina. Now we have the Sortex Marina description. So we have already found out the relevant points from the additional information. Now we are looking for the development. What basically development is, it means that whatever point you have found out, you're going to elaborate them further. So Sortex Marina is offering these things. So look at line number 5, an aquarium. Sortex Marina has an aquarium undertaking pioneering conservation work with dolphins and 3 restaurants, including one offering an exclusively plant-based menu. So one thing is that it has conservation work with dolphins going on. So Georgina can prefer the Sortex Marina because of this dolphins work because she is interested in environmental issues. And then we have We read about Georgina. She was vegetarian earlier. So one restaurant that is offering a plant-based menu, it can be of some interest to Georgina. Then the next thing is an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It is also a relevant point. Artificial beach, coral reef. So these are some points that you can develop your points that you found out from the additional information. Now, let me make it easier for you. Your first point is Georgina has a passion for scuba diving, right? So, how this point can be developed further? Saltex Marina has a beach and coral reef. So, this could be a development. The next point is Georgina is vegetarian. So, how Saltex Marina can help her with this? Saltex Marina has a restaurant that is entirely plant based. The third point is Sortex Marina has pioneered conservation work with dolphins and how it can go with Georgina. Georgina is already interested in environmental issues. Now let me share your mistake number two, the full sentence blunder. You know what? In your exams, there are questions that ask you to find a specific word or phrase from the text. But what you do, you write out the entire sentence containing that word. Your examiner doesn't want that full sentence from you. They just want the exact word, the phrase as requested. So writing more than what you need is your mistake. So it is not only waste of time, but it can be marked as incorrect as well. So how can you fix this mistake now? You have to be precise, you have to be short. So if the question asks for a word, just simply give one word. And if it asks for a phrase, just give the shortest possible phrase that answers the question directly. So here the answer is moving at speed, it means barrel in. That's it. So what could be the answer here now? The person arranging business deals between other people. So the answer is line number two, middleman. That's it. But if you write the orders came from a middleman, it's your mistake because they're just asking for only the exact word. That's it. Your mistake number three, you waste your precious word, right? In the questions, specify word count. For example, in this case, your requirement is 30 words only, right? But what do? You often write a lengthy introduction before getting to the actual answer. I really don't know why do you do this. Means you're not supposed to do this. You're wasting your precious words and marks on unnecessary stuff as well. So, how can you fix this mistake? Get straight to the point. The question asks the three pieces of evidence that show it is difficult to walk through the rainforest. So, just give the evidences from the text that makes difficult to walk. For example, line number three, the lean figure dips quickly under the thick ceiling of leaves, and the second say avoid being tripped by. So this is the evidence, right? So there is no need for intro like according to the passage, the reasons are. It means when you start the first word, first word, examiner will start counting your words. So mistake number four, when a question explicitly says to use your own words, right? It means no room for the word from the source text, but what you do, you forget this and copy the key terms of the phrases directly. So how can you fix this mistake? Simply, the simple formula is you need synonyms here, right? For every key term of the phrase in the passage, think of an alternative word, the phrase that means the same thing. For example, in this case, line 42, 43, it says that he believes chopping down just one piece of wood is one of the greatest sins against nature. So you are not supposed to write chopping down. You're not supposed to use just one piece of wood. You are not supposed to use greatest sins and against nature. So you must think of some alternative word here now. So which words you can actually use here? So for chopping down, you can write cutting off. So when you say piece of wood or just one piece of wood, you can say even a single branch, right? You're not using the word wood. You cannot use the word just or one piece even. So the next one is greatest sin. For greatest sin, you can write the alternative here like worst crimes because if something is superlative degree, it means something is used in a superlative degree, you have to have superlative degree there then. So you can say worst crimes. And the last one is against nature. So it means you can write something related to the environment here. Mistake number five, when they ask the exact meaning of the words that are used in the material. For example, here you're not supposed to change the word class or the form here. For example, the first one, have taken their toll, it means it is used as a third form. For example, first is a take and then took and taken. So when you answer this, you have to write caused damage. You are not saying causing damage. You can't change the form here, right? Or you can say damaged and you can say had a bad effect here. So just remember this thing, you are not supposed to change the form here. The next one says defy. Defy means it is infinitive and you have to write the base form here. So when you answer it, you can't say disobey or go against or ignore. You can't write ignored here. You are not writing the second form of verb here. So do remember, don't change the verb form here. That is the end of the today's video. Keep watching my channel for more useful content on English General Paper 2, and that is comprehension. Until then, bye bye.